stakeholders that are invited, management and staff of the People's Democratic Party, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this one-day retreat holding here in Bauchi today. One of the post-election strategy for rebuilding our great party. Without wasting time, let us get straight to the agenda. Okay, invite forward. We want to welcome the host governor, His Excellency Senator Bala Abubakar, to present welcome address to this event. Your Excellency, sir, Karambachi Jagaban Katagun.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Bauchi State, Kauram Bauchi, Jagaban Katagun. Your Excellency, you're welcome to the microphone, sir.
أعوذ بالله سميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Ambassador Ilya Damagum, Your Excellency, the former Vice President and inshallah, our President 2023, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Your Excellency, the acting chairman of the PDP Board of Trustees and other members of the BOT that are here, Your Excellency, the Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum and the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Your Excellency Sheyi Makinde and other Executive Governors that are here present, members of the National Working Committee, distinguished senators, members of the House of Representatives, former presiding officers of the National Assembly, the chairman of the PDP Ministers Forum, the chairman of the former PDP Governors Forum, and in that regard, our own chairman of the PDP Governors Forum that has just left office, His Excellency, the Governor of Sokoto, the former Governor of Sokoto, members of the press, distinguished invitees, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am immensely privileged to stand before you today on behalf of the people and government of Bauchi State, welcoming you all to the People's Democratic Party retreat for elected officials. Our gathering here today symbolizes not just the vibrant spirit of our party, but also the firm commitment to our shared ideals and to the great nation of Nigeria. First and foremost, please join me in extending heartfelt congratulations to our newly elected governors and to those who have been re-elected, like myself, for a second term. Our victories are a testament to the confidence people have in us and in our party. To our newly elected and re-elected members of the National Assembly, congratulations on your well-deserved successes. This triumph signifies the trust and hope the people of Nigeria have vested in you and the People's Democratic Party. I would also like to extend my sincere appreciation to everyone in attendance today. By honoring this invitation to attend this retreat, you have demonstrated a commendable level of commitment and loyalty to our dear party. These attributes are not just valued, but they are indeed critical for the progress and stability of our party. As we commence our deliberations, let us remember the importance of unity. Our strength as a party lies in our ability to remain united in the face of adversity. We must also extend this unity to both people we agreed with and the people we differ with, understanding that diversity of opinion can strengthen, not weaken, our democratic foundations. In our quest for national development, the role of our legislators, senators, and members of the House of Representatives cannot be overemphasized. You are the catalyst of policy change, the envoys of our social transformation, and the representatives of the Nigerian people. The nation counts on you to deliver on the mandates you have been entrusted with. Despite the challenges we face as an opposition party, we must remain resilient and united in our pursuit of the interests of our constituencies. Conflicts with the governors and within our ranks serve only to divide us and undermine our shared objectives. Our governors are partners in progress, and it is by working with them, not against them, that we can effect the desired change. Although we currently hold a minority position in the National Assembly, this should not deter us from extending our influence and fulfilling our duties. Democracy cannot thrive without a vibrant opposition to check and balance the powers of the ruling party. Let us embrace this role with fervor and unwavering commitment. We should also put the country above everything else. During this retreat, we will engage in open discussions about the current position of our party, our strengths, and areas that require improvement. We are here to strategize on how we can drive our party and our nation towards a prosperous future and development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me use this opportunity to extend a fervent call to the members of the judiciary handling election cases at the various tribunals. Your role is paramount in upholding the principle of justice, impartiality, and the rule of law. The future of our democracy rests on your shoulders, and the nation is watching you with a view to making sure you do justice to us. As a former senator myself, I truly appreciate the importance of the legislature in national development. It is your duty to champion the causes that affect the daily lives of Nigerians. You are the voice of the people on issues such as insecurity, inflation, unemployment, removal of the fuel subsidy, strategies for national development, just to mention a few with regards to our economy. Your patriotic and courageous efforts in discharging these responsibilities are critical for the progress of our nation. The challenges we face as a nation call for unity, dedication, and decisive action from all of us. Let us leave this retreat with a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to not just our party, but to the Nigerian people who look up to us. Let us strive to be the change that we wish to see and work towards together for a united, prosperous, and inclusive Nigeria. Thank you very much for your attendance. We really appreciate your attendance, especially my colleagues, the governors. Within a very short moment, you are all here. And I think we have to rise up now at the commencement of this to remember one of our own patriots who died and who lived and died for the party, who contributed so much to the growth and development of Nigeria, especially the media. That is our own Raymond Dokpesi. I will request with humility the Vice President to lead us in 1-minute prayer in memory of the departed soul of our own Raymond Dokpesi. Thank you very much. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We also recollect, we've mentioned them, our National Vice Chairman, Southwest, Soji, who also died, and may their souls and souls of all the faithful departed rest in peace. Your Excellency, before I invite the National Chairman to address this august body in June, Your Excellency will recollect that when the party gathered a few weeks ago at the Lagos Hall of Hilton Hotel, our leader, the vice presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, made a solemn declaration. He said, the PDP as a party in this critical juncture must choose one day for us to look at issues critically, address it, and find the way forward. I believe it is as a result of this admonition that the acting national chairman, acting with the BOT and the governor of Bauchi State, decided for us to have this retreat. Permit me, therefore, to invite, to address us, the acting national chairman of our party, His Excellency Ambassador Ilya Umar Damagun. Please a round of applause for him as he comes to the microphone. Your Excellency.
Members of the National Working Committee, our presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, our governors here present, senators, distinguished senators, and members of House of Reps, BOT chairman, former governors, and other stakeholders. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this special retreat of elected officers. This is a very crucial period in the history of our party, and how we navigate it will determine the progress of the party in the nearest future. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate all of you on the success of this election, in spite of many challenges. Perhaps the 2023 election will go down as the worst conducted. Nigeria has given hope that this election will be free and fair following the passage of the Electoral Act, which made provision for deployment of technology to make the process more transparent. The combination of beavers and electronic transmission results was to ensure seamless accreditation and transmission of results, but INEC simply chose to undermine. Let me also assure you of the party's support all the way during your sojourn litigation. We'll leave no stone unturned to reclaim our mandate that has been lost during this election. We have done well in this election. We know it, and we have a responsibility to mobilize like minds to build a party that will be responsive to the aspirations of Nigerians. When this current NWC came on board in 2021, we set out to rebuild the party, conducted transparent congresses to ensure the state chapters were on sound footing. We organized transparent and credible primaries, which produced most of you here. I want to reiterate on the issue of National Assembly. We have to know we are an opposition. We must remain, in order to remain relevant, we must work together as one family. That's the only way you'll be able to ensure that your relevance is being determined. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, every system is as strong as its members. The PDP's resilience is once more being tested here. The growth of the party going forward is in the hands of all of us seated in this hall. We must realize that our actions and inactions have consequences for the future of this party. I call on us to uphold party discipline, support the party, and also make sure that at all costs you'll be there for the party. I want to use this opportunity to welcome you all. I think it's high time we get down to business. By these remarks, I'm declaring this retreat open. Thank you very much.
PDP! Power to the people! The acting national chairman has declared this retreat open. Before we proceed to the business of the day, I would like us to introduce our governors one by one. They are performing governors of PDP. Right Honorable Ahmed Makarfi is the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. Second term in office. His Excellency Pastor Umar Basi Eno is the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, in no particular order, please, alphabetically. We have the host governor, His Excellency Senator Bala Ahmed Mohammed, CON, Executive Governor of Bauchi State. The Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriweri, His Excellency. His Excellency Godwin Obaseki is the Executive Governor of Edo State. His Excellency Senator Ademola N. Jackson Adeleke is the Executive Governor of Osun State. His Excellency Engineer Sheyi Makinde is the Executive Governor for your state and second term in office. His Excellency Barrister Caleb Muftang is Executive Governor of Plateau State. His Excellency Sir Similali Fubra is the Executive Governor of Rivers State. His Excellency Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar is the Governor of Taraba State. His Excellency Dauda Lawal Dare is the Governor of Zamfara State. Your Excellencies, permit me to make correction that the Edo State Governor is here ably represented by the Deputy Comrade Philip Shuaibu. Thank you very much, our performing governors, for gracing this very retreat. It is now time to give an understanding to this retreat, for us to know exactly why we are here. This is a post-election phase, and our great party has chosen to do this retreat. And it's going to bridge the gap between them and us, which is an outcome of an election. Without preempting the speaker, let me invite to the microphone the National Organizing Secretary, Honorable Captain Umar Bature, to give us the background of this retreat. Thank you.
The Acting National Chairman, Your Excellency Atiku Abubakar, Your Excellencies, our governors here present, members of NWC, BOT, senators and House Representatives members here present. The party took a decision to bring all organs of the party to Bauchi to discuss primarily party objectives through efficient legislature. We had a series of meetings with the House of Reps and the senators, both at group level and with some groups, at smaller and larger groups, where we believe we're here to promoting our PDP political party objectives through efficient legislature for the successful implementation of policies and initiatives that align with the party's ideology and agenda. Our priority must be given to discussions and deliberations of the legislative proposals which align with our objectives. We'll try to explore methods for improved communication, for sustainable relationships with the party and the legislature. The party will work harmoniously with you, that is the House of Reps and the senators, to ensure that you have adequate background statistics, media attention, and other forms of support to push through legislation that will better the lives of our fellow Nigerians. Our focus for the future should go beyond the plans of our opponents that PDP will die. Rather, the party should continue to unite and provide adequate support for good legislative decisions that conform with our national needs. The legislature have a crucial role to play in advancing the objectives of the party and spread the ideals of the PDP in Nigeria. In the challenging task, I'm therefore counting on all members for the good initiative that will support the party in its current drive to reconcile, rebuild, and reposition itself for the next election. So primarily, we are here to strengthen communication between our National Assembly members and the party with a particular view of aligning the party objectives to national development. Mr. Chairman, briefly, that's why we're here, and we believe our leaders should be able to align our elected National Assembly members into line. I thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, the National Organizing Secretary. Your Excellencies, may we, for want of time, start off with the goodwill messages. May I now invite the Deputy Minority Leader in the outgoing 9th Assembly, who is here with us, Right Honorable Toby Okechukwu, to kick off the goodwill messages. Honorable Toby Okechukwu.
Thank you very much. The acting national chairman of our great party, the PDP, our presidential flag bearer, Waziri Adamawa, the BOT chairman, NWC members, our elected governors, newly elected senators and outgoing senators, my colleagues from the House of Representatives and newly elected members. I warmly bring you the compliments of the minority caucus of the House of Representatives. And I also want to felicitate with our governors who, by the grace of God and by the grace of their people, been elected to be the flag bearer, the vanguard of our party policies in the states, as well as to distinguished senators and House members. Well, my brief is very clear. Whatever, in 2015, when we lost the presidential election, we had an outing with the minority leadership of Ghana Parliament. How did they come back to power after losing an election? What we learned was that they asked the PDP to pay attention to their parliamentarians because they retain the institutional framework to launch the policies of the party, to oppose the government in power, to ensure that they run good government, and to create an alternative platform. And after that, we were able in the 8th Assembly to do a lot of that. So what this means is that the party in opposition must be united. They must work in concert with the party. The entry behavior of the opposition to the 10th Assembly will determine its future. It's very critical. If you manifest elements or incidents of disunity, we will do so at our own peril. If we are united, no matter the circumstances, no matter the challenges, we will eventually, within the context of the optics, in contact and in character, manifest good opposition. And that will be for the betterment of Nigerians. The party, the opposition, or the parliament has always been in support of the party. In 2015, 2016, when we had the sheriff challenge, it was members of the parliament that was able to get a building that housed the party throughout that period. We have always come to the aid of the party during challenges. I think members who are coming in, who have been elected, should also continue to be loyal to the party. But on its own part, the party should make an assessment to what extent is it responsible for the attrition of members of the National Assembly. To what extent can they help? Yesterday is gone, but we must continue to think about tomorrow. And the loyalty of members is enhanced when the party is responsive to its needs. That is why members can make sacrifice. It does matter. When you can see that their fallback position is with the party, and they can always support you. So I want to call on our colleagues, the members, who are here and are going to be inaugurated about the 13th, that it is very important to be united, to always, work in harmony with the party. And there are certain things about the legislature that the party should live on its own. They should have a back channel approach to guide members on what to do. Thank you very much. I appreciate your presence here. May God bless all of us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Toby Okechukwu. By the same token, Your Excellencies, may I now invite the minority leader of our party in the Senate, distinguished Senator Philip Aduda, to address this retreat. Philip Aduda.
Thank you very much. Thank you, MC. Thank you, Your Excellencies. Your Excellency, the acting national chairman of our party, Your Excellency, the acting chairman of our BOT, Your Excellency, our dear presidential candidate, Your Excellency, the deputy chairman of the Governors Forum, and Your Excellency, the host governor, Your Excellencies, members of the National Assembly, particularly Senate and House of Reps, and the Senate leadership here present, and the House of Representatives leadership, our distinguished leaders from the national BOT, zonal, and at various levels, including the state levels. Your Excellencies, Right Honorable Toby has said it all. He has captured the essence of the whole issues, learning from the Ghana experience, which I will have talked about, which we interfaced with them, and they told us how they were able to make it from the opposition and get back to government. Your Excellencies, I will add that the governors as well interface with their National Assembly members at all times to work in synergy with each other, to see each other as partners in progress. Because it is only when we work together and they work together with their governors that they can escalate it to the national level, to bring to the forefront issues as they relate to their various states and as they disturb their states, because they are the representative of both the governor and the people from their various states to the national level. And so we must see this support between the National Assembly and our executive governors. Having said all that, Your Excellencies, there must also be a reward system, whereby sometimes the turnover and issues as they relate to primaries, completely, sometimes you find that members, the turnover sometimes is not as it should be. Your Excellencies, we have come, and you all have come at a defining moment, whereby this nation needs leadership from you people and need leadership from our National Assembly. And so the members of our National Assembly should live up to that expectation. Your Excellencies, let me thank you people on behalf of the people of the FCT, my constituency, for having given me the opportunity to serve this party as the minority whip between 2015 and 2022. And by the special grace of God and with your kind, with your support, you also made me your minority leader. This is the only opportunity I might have to now address you as I begin to wind down and exit as minority leader on Thursday next week, by the 8th of June this month. So I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward to serving this party and continuing to work with this party. The minority leadership must put themselves together in unity and ensure that you elect leaders that will guide you through the 10th National Assembly. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Senator Philip Aduda. You've heard the voices of the outgoing Ninth Assembly. Your Excellencies, at this time we want to hear voices from the members-elect, representative of a member of House of Representatives, and a representative for the senators-elect. We'll be hearing from Honorable Fred. Honorable Fred Abedi, sorry. Honorable Fred Abedi, 3 minutes, please. And after him, we'll hear from the former governor of Kebbi State. Yes, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, the Acting Chairman, Your Excellency, our flag bearer for 2023, host governor and other governors, Acting Chairman of BOT, my colleagues, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First, I stand here on behalf of members-elect of the House of Representatives to congratulate our governors-elect, as well as members and senators-elect. Two, to also thank the party for giving us this opportunity to come together with you and hear from the party and have encouragements from the party. This is important to further unite us and strengthen us in preparation for the inauguration of the 10th Assembly on the 13th of July 2023. June 2023. I'm sorry, sir. June 2023. Your Excellencies, I want to report that members-elect of the House of Reps had a dinner interactive session yesterday evening, and we had presentations from most of our ranking members and leaders at the dinner. And we were all advised on the need and resolve to work together in defense of our party and to show that we shall be minority members in the 10th Assembly, and we should so realize that and work towards ensuring that we stand for our party as we have done in other assemblies. Your Excellencies, our chairman of party, we want to also request that the PDP has the leading numbers in the opposition. And of course, this is the first time we have about 7 parties forming the opposition. And so we have the responsibility to take along the other minority parties, and we cannot do that without your support. So we urge you to strengthen us in that regard. Having said so, I want to thank you immensely for giving us this opportunity. I will promise to work with the party. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. May I now invite one of our most experienced, distinguished Senator Adamu Aliero, former federal minister, now distinguished senator, to please step forward to speak on behalf of the senators-elect. Distinguished Senator Adamu Aliero. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the acting chairman of our great party, Your Excellency, the presidential candidate of our party, our host governor, and the other governors here present, the chairman of the BOT, distinguished senators and members of the House of Representatives, senators-elect and members of the House of Representatives-elect. Let me, for want of time, stand on existing protocol. Let me start by commending the National Working Committee of our great party for organizing this retreat. It is very timely and apt. We expected this interaction immediately after our election, but it is better late than never. We, the senators-elect, have already started by uniting ourselves, not only within the PDP, but within all the minority caucus. We have been having a series of meetings with the Labour Party, with NMPP, with SDP, and also with ABGA. We have a total number of 50 senators. 46 from PDP, 8 from LP, 36 from PDP, 8 from LP, 2 from NMPP, 2 from PDP, ABGA 1, and YPP 1. We have up to about 8 meetings, and all about strategizing and uniting the minority caucus. And I want to assure our party that we will do everything possible to ensure that our party remain united. We will get even the opposition parties to form a very strong alliance with PDP, because we believe this is the only way we will perform our responsibility, our constitutional responsibility, creditably. Only 2 days ago, we had a dinner where all the senators-elect were present. And I can assure you that when it comes to electing the presiding officers of the National Assembly, the minority caucus have taken a stand that we will vote en bloc. By doing this, the minority caucus will have a lot of influence in whatever debate we are going to have in the National Assembly. We are quite aware of the challenges we are facing as members of the legislature. We are the voice of the people. We know the current realities the people of Nigeria are facing. The growing inflation, the fuel subsidy removal, which was announced recently, insecurity, unemployment. These are going to be the issues that will be in the front banner immediately the National Assembly is inaugurated. And I assure you that we will not let our party down. We will not let Nigerians down. We will be the voice of the voiceless. We will champion the cause of the people of Nigeria. Thank you very much for giving me this time.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Senator Adamu Alero, for that voice for 10th Assembly. We are still taking goodwill messages, Your Excellencies. We want to invite a very old parliamentarian in the House, one of the foundation mothers of the PDP, Chief Whip of Senate 1999, and a member of Board of Trustees, former Deputy Controller General of Correctional Services, that's the then Customs and Exercise. We're inviting Chief Mrs. Senator Stella Omo, ONMNI.
PDP, power to the people. My president in waiting, the chairman of our great party, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, all governors here present, permit me I am standing here on behalf of all women of PDP all over the world and the youths all over the world. We greet the National Working Committee for organizing this sitting. We congratulate all those who won on the ticket of the PDP, the senators, members of National Assembly, House of Assembly. My message on this occasion is that as loyal party members, we must learn to live together in peace and harmony, or else we perish. Again, as a former whip of the National Assembly, I know that to progress, rules must be kept. Violation must be punished. Words must lead to action. As much as possible, we should adopt consensus instead of imposition. Diplomacy instead of dictatorship by the powers. I want to appeal to the incoming, the 10th National Assembly, that please they should look into, resurrect all the gender bills that we have stood down by the National Assembly, and to ensure that they are passed into law to enable more women in the decision-making position. Distinguished members, I know that we are all pained, but let the current challenges not put us out of focus. The saying goes, conscience is a big wound that only the truth can cure. We therefore look forward for the truth from the judiciary so that PDP takes its rightful position. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. PDP, power to the people. Thank you all.
Thank you, most distinguished Senator. Your Excellency, the Acting National Chairman, Mr. President, the host governor, it is now my honor and privilege to welcome to the microphone a man I call my brother and my friend. The man who has changed the face of Oyo State, a great patriot, an engineer, a PDP man. Join me to welcome to the microphone His Excellency Sheyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State. May I also express our sincere apology from our friend Seriaki Dixon, the former governor of Bayelsa State and senator-elect, who is not here with us. Your Excellency, sir.
Your Excellency, the Acting National Chairman of our party, Ambassador Ilya Damagun, Your Excellency, the presidential candidate of our party and the former Vice President, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, GCON. Your Excellency, the Acting Chairman, PDP Board of Trustees, and a former Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Adolphus Wabara. The host governor and my friend and brother, the Kaura Bauchi, His Excellency Governor Senator Bala Abdulkadir Mohammed, CON. My colleagues, Your Excellencies, well, something interesting is actually happening here today. We have 13 PDP governors as of today, and all the 13 are present here, either physically or through their deputies. So I want to appreciate all of my colleagues for turning up. This shows that you've taken this retreat as a very serious business. Let me also recognize the National Assembly members-elect, the House of Representatives, senators serving. Well, they are still, they are elect until they are sworn in next week. I think somebody said there that governors-elect, no more governors-elect. Now you have governors, executive governors with their red pen in their various states. Also, let me recognize leaders and elders of our party nationally that are present here, members of the National Working Committee, members of various organs of the party that are present here. Well, I'm supposed to give a goodwill message on behalf of my colleagues, the governors of our great party, PDP. Well, I'd like to point something out. First, we went through a grueling election, and whether we want to admit or not, we have issues amongst ourselves during the elections, but you know what? The healing process will have to start. And the healing process will start now. We must focus on things that will unite us. We must, as a matter of urgency, be forward-looking. We have to tell ourselves the home truth. But one thing I can say is that for the governors of PDP that are present here, I will say that the governors are willing, they are ready, they are able to play a stabilizing role in this party. And let me end by saying that government will come and go, but our country will remain. And as a responsible opposition, we must, where it is required, do things in the interest of this country. Because if there's no Nigeria, then there's no us. So it is safer to accept a chance that offers itself and extemporize the procedure to fit it, rather than making plans, mature, and then we're waiting for an opportunity to use that plan. So on behalf of PDP governors, I welcome you all to this retreat. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. PDP! Power to the people! We're still taking goodwill messages. We invite to the microphone now the acting chairman of the Board of Trustees, former Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator His Excellency Adolphus Nwabara, Grand Commander of the Order of Niger.
Your Excellency, the acting national chairman of our great party, Your Excellency, our candidate and our president in waiting, by the special grace of God, our newly elected governors and members of the National Assembly here present. For want of time, please permit me to rest on existing protocol. But before then, I seek your permission to appreciate the host governor, who, after a very expensive election, could, within this short space of time, assemble us, all of us here for this retreat. We've not lost anything. We are still in court. And by the special grace of God, victory shall be ours. I rise to speak on behalf of the Board of Trustees of this great party. A lot has been said, and I think the board has taken note of all that was said here and will still be said. But I want to especially appreciate those who spoke before me and they spoke well, particularly the area of the supremacy of the party. The party is supreme because it is the platform on which all of us got to glory. We must always respect the party, consult the party, particularly the National Assembly members, for there to be success and effect in the role that we are now playing as the minority party in the National Assembly. And for the governors, somebody made a very good point here. The governors should try as much as possible to work in synergy with the members of the National Assembly. The era where governors will not want to work with members of the National Assembly should be a thing of the past. Because after your 8 years, the next place you are looking for is the same National Assembly. So, you want to lay a very good bed so that after your 8 years, you'll be lying on a bed that you really made. And for our caucus members, I speak from my experience. For our minority caucus members, the minority leader in the House of Reps or the Senate, the minority leaders are our Speaker, and in the Senate, our Senate President in the minority party. So that respect you accord to the Senate President, you should also accord that respect to the minority leaders, because they know what happens. They are the ones that attend meetings with the powers that be and then get back to you. Somebody said here, and I quite agree with him, that the PDP is not the only minority party. The minority party, the PDP is the chief minority party in both houses. So that all you have to do is to make sure you work in synergy with the 7 other parties also. So that they don't poach and then weaken the minority party. So the minority caucus is very key. I don't want to waste much of your time, but to pray to God once again that that at the end of it all, that our president here seated, as soon as he emerges, most of these things will come to play. Another thing is that we should learn. Lastly, let us learn from what is trending now. Most of us cannot claim not to be against that ruling. So the National Working Committee should also be advised henceforth to introduce funding for the party. Because funding in the sense that every member of this party must be a funding member, a financial member of the party. So that these dues, the dues that we pay, 5 naira, makes you belong to the party. Look at what happened yesterday. And I'm sure most of us cannot even prove that we are financial members of this party. Apart from what we do, cooking rice, and that is different from paying your dues. So the NWC plays with that's another source of funds, and that will release the pressure on our governors in the future to be funding the party. On that note, I thank you for listening. God bless you.
Thank you very much. The former President of the Senate and the acting Chairman of our Board of Trustees. Your Excellencies, before we invite our leader, Mr. President, we want to transfer the podium to a more convenient spot. The host governor has directed us to transfer the executive podium to a more convenient spot from where His Excellency Atiku Abubakar will speak when we do invite him. Please, can you get the microphone for those of a live broadcast, set it up, then we can do the needful. Gentlemen, just finished. Your Excellencies, distinguished Nigerians, it is now my honor and privilege to invite a man who Nigerians are yearning for. The man whose vote, acceptability, and popularity is no longer in doubt vis-a-vis electoral process in Nigeria. A great unifier. Gentlemen, join me to welcome to the microphone His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, Grand Commander, Order of the Niger, former Vice President and presidential candidate of our party, as he addresses this retreat. Your Excellency, you're welcome to the microphone.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Your Excellencies, please be seated. The acting chairman of our party, Ambassador Umar Damagun, and members of the National Working Committee, Your Excellency, Governor Makinde, Deputy Chairman, Nigeria's Governors Forum, Your Excellencies, all our governors present, particularly the newly elected ones and the returning ones, our acting chairman of the BOT and former Senate President, distinguished senators and members of House of Representatives, particularly the outgoing, and congratulations to our newly elected governors and members of the National Assembly. I join our host, Governor Bala Abdul Qadir Mohammed, Auram Bauchi, and Jagaban Katagum, our acting national chairman, Ambassador Damagun, and other previous speakers, in welcoming all of you to this very important event, a retreat for the National Assembly members-elect on the platform of the PDP and other minority parties. Retreats are typically for stock-taking, for reflection, for introspection, for preparation, and for retooling, and also for revitalization. A retreat such as this is like a meeting you would have with someone or a group about to embark on a very important journey or mission. It is to discuss what to expect on the journey, how to prepare adequately for that journey, including pieces of advice on how to handle the various challenges that might be encountered along the way and also at the destination. Such a parley usually benefits from the wisdom of those who had made such a journey before, particularly our outgoing members of the National Assembly. Thankfully, we have among the speakers and members-elect a number of people who have vast experience in the legislative business. Let me, however, say a few words about their important assignment as National Assembly members in our party and also as opposition members. Based on the results announced by the INEC and pending the determination of electoral challenges in the courts, our members-elect are not the majority in the National Assembly. So, for the time being, they have to prepare to work as an effective, constructive opposition while also preparing for possible role as the majority party when the cases are resolved. Don't ever lose hope. The role of the opposition is holding the government and majority party to account. And in doing so, you demonstrate that you and your party are ready to govern at the shortest possible time. A government in waiting, so to speak. In the recently conducted elections, our party campaigned on specific programs and policies. You must remember those and that Nigerians expect your work as National Assembly members to reflect those promises that we made to them. That you are not currently in the INEC selected governing party is not an adequate excuse. You must collectively push the temporary government in the direction of policies and programs that serve the Nigerian people. You should not be part of a rubber stamp legislative arm for those who might want to govern as dictators. Our democracy must endure, and you can and you should help to make that happen. As you know, the PDP remains the only true political party that is owned by its members rather than by one or a handful of godfathers. Thus, no one member or group of members bigger, better, or more important than the party in the PDP. You are representatives of the party and your constituents. Do not be tempted to abandon your party just because of the INEC-induced temporary setback. In the end, the truth and good shall triumph over falsehood and evil. Therefore, you must please remain resolute. Do not work in isolation from one another. You are a team and should always work as a team in order to achieve meaningful results and also remain connected to your roots, your constituents, and other stakeholders. Our party, like any real political party, is a living organism needing continuous rebuilding and improvement. Let us continue to rebuild it. The work of rebuilding our party involves everyone, including our elected representatives. And it will involve unity of purpose. So we must work hard at reunifying our party. Let's not continue to fight yesterday's battles. I like the statement of the governor of Oyo State today here. Let's not let our individual egos blind our vision of what a party is and what we should be doing for our party's growth and our country's development. Let us remember that our people need security, economic growth and development, educational revival, millions of jobs and decent wages for our workers. And let us not forget that our people need to be unified to face the challenges of nation building. Our collective contributions to the achievement of those objectives will be what count in the end, and not how many cheap political points we win against one another. Our country is too damaged to allow us time for more meaningless drama. Our nation needs us. History beckons. And I am confident that our National Assembly members-elect, and indeed all our party leaders and members, will not disappoint the people of this country. Let me make a passing remarks on the announced fuel subsidy removal. Between 1999 and 2007, the PDP government initiated petroleum subsidy removal, and I chaired the committee. We achieved subsidy removal in 2 phases, but only after providing palliatives to those most affected by the subsidy removal. We have the experience as a party and government. That is what we would have done, and not just announce subsidy removal without discussion with the affected sectors of the economy. I think Nigerians should appreciate what they have temporarily lost. Thank you very much. I wish you successful deliberations. Thank you.
Your Excellency, as His Excellency goes to his speech, may I now invite the former governor of Kaduna State, former distinguished Senator Ahmed Makarfi, former acting national chairman, to please step forward for his speech as one of our guest speakers here today.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, standing here is our former national chairman and former governor of Kaduna State. He's going to deliver a lecture which will be a keynote one to discuss on party and National Assembly matters. His Excellency Senator Ahmed Makarfi, Commander of the Order of Niger.
Your Excellency, the Acting National Chairman, Your Excellency, Presidential Candidate, and God willing, our President, because we are still waiting for finality in the matters. Your Excellency, Bauchi, my Governor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Chairman, Nigeria's Governors Forum, Sheyi Makinde, Your Excellencies, our Governors, all protocol duly observed. I've been asked to make a speech, not deliver a paper, to this August gathering, a retreat for our members-elect. Before this commencement, those who thought of it were praying for a successful retreat. The world by now already knows that this is a successful retreat. Because beyond the intention, for a very long time, we have not had a rich meeting of PDP leaders where our governors, our presidential candidate, and key leaders are all in attendance except today. This is God's doing, and we should be grateful to Him, and we should build upon that. Now, what is it you don't know? You know as much as I do, or even more. But in gatherings such as this, somebody has to say something. We know where we are. Whether as governors or as legislators in opposition, the party expects you to work in the interest of your country, our country, in the interest of your constituencies, in the interest of our party. It's a balancing act. There's a time you collaborate, even with the majority legislators or those in government. There are times you oppose except if you are defeated. But ultimately, the objective is what is the benefit to Nigeria, what is the benefit to your constituency, and how does it improve or impact on the manifesto of your party that you are fulfilling the manifesto of your party. It's not everything yes, it's not everything no. That is what must be done. Otherwise, the reality is in African politics is that you can be sidelined. Even within you, your ranks can be broken. With or without you, things will be happening, and you find it difficult to go back to your constituencies. That is the reality of the politics. Our governors, our legislators, not in a public gathering here with media, with everything. Here we're only doing ceremonial talk. But the real talk is amongst yourselves, where nobody goes to battle with one plan. You have multiple plans. One, the status quo as it is. What do we do under the status quo? What should we do should the status quo alter? They are all possibilities. And nobody should shoot down any possibility. But you must think them through so that whatever you are faced with, you are also not caught unprepared. Your constituencies matter. I know PDP governors, they are 99% at home. That is the character of PDP governors. I know I can't talk about all legislators. I know some, but some of the problem legislators face where you have high turnout is that after being inaugurated, distancing yourself from your constituencies. Whether you have or you don't have, you must be patient to be there. The connection you make when you interact with your constituents, money cannot buy. When you leave a gap, something will enter. And by the time you want to wake up to address it, it becomes difficult to address. Those of you governors, temper your ambition. That's the truth of the matter. A tree does not make a forest. You work with other leaders. The fact that you are integrated, yes, you are independent, but if you say you want to go it alone, people will manage you. But at the time you come to look for people, you will not find them. That is also another political reality. So it's a balancing issue. Unity at all levels is required. We must work together with the party. We must work together where you have governors with the governors. You must work with other leaders from where you come from. These are key issues. But what I want to say finally, because it's just a remark, a reminder, is that I hope that after this formal meeting, our governors, with not too long from now, will have full time to sit together to discuss. Our legislators have been meeting, they should continue to meet. And the party has been mediating, it should continue to mediate so that the forces of leadership in the party can be brought together so that we work in unison. If we work in unison, we surely will prevail. It's a matter of time. Thank you. God bless.
Your Excellencies, distinguished Nigerians, we are gradually rounding up. I have been directed that we have to go into a question and answer session, which will be chaired by the Governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency Ahmed Finteri. He will work closely with the Ambassador Wada and the rest of them so that they'll be able to take the microphone to those who will ask the questions. Ahmed Finteri, the Governor of Adamawa State, will now be able to run this part of the program for the question and answer series. Your Excellency.
Thank you. Your Excellency, our leader, and our presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, Wazir in Adamawa, the acting national chairman of our party, Ambassador Umar Ilya Damagun, the chairman of BOT, Senator Wabara. I was sitting by him and I was wondering why people keep saying the acting chairman. After all, he was nominated by members of BOT. I don't know who is supposed to legalize that for him to be the substantive chairman of the BOT. I think you are the chairman of the BOT, not the acting chairman. Your Excellencies, my colleagues, governors, particularly the host governor, Your Excellencies, distinguished senators, respected members of the House of Representatives, other distinguished invited guests, good afternoon. Before I yield for the question and answer session, with profound gratitude, I want to thank all those leaders that have spoken today, creating the ball rolling for us to come into this answer and question session. I don't know also if there will be question and answer, because most of the things discussed here, even from Senator Makarfi, were remarks by all of us. There was no elaborate presentation, but all the same, we are family, and we have met for the first time, having this retreat, which I must congratulate the party for organizing that. So ladies and gentlemen, my job will be to direct for the microphone for each one of us that will want to ask a question, and for me to direct those questions to those individuals that will be answering those questions depending on who presented what or who said what. Thank you and God bless you. Yes. Will I start with my auntie? You know, we are gender sensitive.
Well, that is my question, yes. Actually. Your Excellency, the acting national chairman of our great party, our incoming president, inshallah, our executive governors here, elected members of the National Assembly, I would like to congratulate us all for you winning the election. My question is very simple, and my question has to do with gender in our party. Your Excellency, this party has a constitution which says that 35% of appointments, especially in the party, should be reserved for women. My question is, has the party implemented that over the years? These are my questions. The PDP women have done their best, and they have continued to do their best. We have supported this party from day one up to today. We are doing it. But Your Excellencies, the PDP women have always been relegated to the background. And this gathering today is the best gathering of the PDP family. We have all our leaders in all the sections of this party. And this issue has to be looked into. Honestly, we are appealing to our leaders, our governors, our members of the National Assembly, the PDP, the BOT. We should all come together and see how we can give the PDP women their rightful place in this party. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Before I yield to the next, please, can we have one house? I will recognize every individual. But before then, should we be carrying out this session before the cameraman, or we should have... Gentlemen of the press, can you excuse us at this moment? Okay. Now we should go ahead with the live coverage and ask our questions in the open before the media. Next question, please. Yes, Senator Ningi. I've recognized, I've noticed you there.
Your Excellencies, distinguished member of the National Assembly, my name is Senator Abdul Ningi, Senator-elect representing Bauchi Central. Can you allow the chairman to...
Okay. Go ahead.
Your Excellency, one of the tragedy of our democracy from 1999 to date is the rate of returns for members of the National Assembly. 2003, it was 32%. 2007, 38%. 2011, 40. 2015, 38 point something or thereabout. And from the parliamentarian point of view, one of the sore points of this rate of returns is the relationship between members of the parliament and their governors. Even though Governor Makarfi made mention of the relationship between parliamentarians and their constituency, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as a lot of members are concerned, one of the sore points is the existing relationship of the National Assembly with their governors. The history thereabout, now that we have two-term governors, what is the problem of members of the National Assembly when they are members of the National Assembly? What is the problem in governors' point of view that hinders healthy relationship between governors and members of the National Assembly? Now that we're in opposition, sir, it is important that we look at that critical position and come up with answers to that. And I think that has been my problem, and I'm happy that quite a number of you are here. Tell us what we need to do so that we'll be in the same page all the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Lar.
Thank you, Your Excellency. For want of time, may I stand on all existing protocol? Your Excellency, much has been said about reconciliation, and we have stressed and harped on the importance of unity and working together. We've also said here that the healing process should begin or start now. What has the party put in place, or what is the party planning to put in place as a mechanism to ensure total reconciliation within the PDP? Because as the popular saying goes, together we stand, divided we fall. So how are we going to go forward in terms of reconciling this party so that we are one strong, united party, and so we can play our role very well as opposition? Thank you.
Thank you. Before I yield to the next question, I will want to call on the national chairman to come and recognize some members of other political parties that have come to participate in this retreat with us. National chairman, please.
Well, this retreat was organized, and after that we had an afterthought that we should invite other opposition parties that are here. We have Labour, we have YPP, and other parties that have joined us, all in the interest to have a formidable opposition within the National Assembly. It's kept our mind that one of the representatives of the Labour was supposed to address us, but however, I still feel we should give them that recognition. Before I sit down, I think I can answer my own question, if you permit me, so that I don't come back here.
It's not time yet to answer these questions. I've been directed to allow for 4 questions, but I will use my power as this session to allow for 6. I've taken 3. I will take additional 3. Chairman. Sorry, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, I never wanted to speak, but when I got the first 2 questions, I discovered that this retreat should be more business, more better business than those questions that were asked. His Excellency, our President in waiting, has given us a very compensative speech. And I believe with that speech, we should know that what we are supposed to discuss or ask here, if this retreat is to rebuild this party and to give us the focus of, if we retrieve this government, how it should be run for the people of this country. On this note, my question is, how come those who have benefited from this government, from this party most, both elected and appointed, every 4 years constitute the problem of this party? They are the most recognized in every meeting, in every gathering. They are the ones
their gifts because they have been given. But at every point of election, the same format, this format, that president, this constitute a failure of this party. And they come here and take over again and bring stories that are inconsequential. I think if the cameramen here will not allow us to tell ourselves the truth, they should retreat so that we can tell ourselves the truth. I rest my case for now. Thank you.
I think you have succeeded in adding to the various remarks we have taken. We are going to, immediately after this session, breaks into committees of various organs to discuss all these problems. So I think at that level, we'll be discussing other more deeper problems than even what has surfaced in this retreat, and taking along what our presidential candidate have said. So I think, Chairman, some of these things you said, we're going to take them in our committee levels. Thank you. Yes, Senator.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I am Senator Chukwuka Otaze. I represent the good people of Enugu North Central District of Enugu State, and I'm the Senate Minority Whip. Well, I think we have fared well with this, the extent we have gone with this retreat. And I feel that we cannot solve all the problems, the post-election problems we have in this retreat. I am of the opinion that this retreat is essentially to talk to our colleagues, the newly elected, how they are going to manage themselves in the parliament. Every other issue that concerns the party and the running as affected the last election should be for another day. So I'm of the opinion, I'm talking to my colleagues here who are taking over. I want to tell you that as you are assuming office, don't bring all your people who did campaign for you at the ward level or the local government level here. You must look for professionals. You must look for professionals to be your SLA, deputy SLA, all the offices. If you don't do it, you will never bring any motion to the floor. If you are even try to bring one, it will be very watery. You need to look for qualified people, high caliber people. And that's why their pay package is much, so that you can get such people. If you look at the success of other democracies everywhere, if you visit America, if you in the course of this, visit the Congress, you see the kind of the workforce they have behind them in order to make them effective. So that when they speak at the floor, they are speaking based on information. So I'm advising you, once you get to the parliament, please take your time out. Don't delegate that job to anybody to do it for you. Don't be sentimental. Get the right caliber of people who can research for you and make sure that you can perform at the floor. That's the only thing you can do. The parliament, I also want to tell you that the parliament, you come with institutional memory. Your effectiveness to a large extent depends on where you are coming from. If you do not have the requisite information and you find yourself there, the tendency that you will not be as effective as others. So you just, now that you are here, you have to you just must be a student. You have to learn. You have to go back to your library. You must create a library. And you have a lot of distractions in the National Assembly that will make you lose focus. From the plenary to committee meetings, to party meetings, to burial sessions at the home, and meetings of the governors, meeting of your local government chairman, one thing or the other. So, but you must ensure that you have a good study, a good library. You must read. Any committee you find yourself heading, you must sufficiently go and study that and look for consultants. Your pay package can take care of that. Engage them to educate you.
Thank you,
Senator. If they educate you effectively, you can be of help to the National Assembly. Thank you so much.
Please, distinguished gentlemen, let's restrict ourselves to questions, not comments. Your Excellency Babangida Aliyu. Questions, please. Not long comments.
As a teacher and a governor and a PhD holder, you can't just speak. But I will ask the question. I think the two speakers, the chairman of Nasarawa and the senator, had taken the issues.
There you go. That is fine.
The election, the retreat for now is for elected officials, but then we need a retreat to discuss the party, the lack of discipline in the party, and the divisions in the party. Thank you, sir.
We take your comment. Do you know question or comment? I haven't asked you to speak. Comment or question?
Question, comment.
Please, let's restrict ourselves to question, please.
All protocol respectfully observed.
We have our leaders before us. Please, let's restrict ourselves to questions.
I just want to start by appreciating the comment of Governor Seyi Makinde this morning, particularly where he said, healing starts now. And the way to start that healing is, I will be glad if between now, next week and 2 weeks that we'll be at the tribunal, to see Governor Seyi Makinde walk into the tribunal venue and sit down to support the party, our candidate, and to demonstrate to Nigerians that the party, the healing has started. To demonstrate to the world that PDP is united. That will show that the healing have truly started. And not just only Governor Seyi, any of our governors. It is time for us to take this tribunal seriously. We should not just allow only our lawyers to attend these tribunals. Please, if you find yourself in Abuja, you can stroll in and spend 30 minutes, 1 hour. Let the world know that there's a new PDP that is big, that is strong and reliable. And we are one indivisible party. And we are supporting this tribunal to take over power. The second comment, sir, sorry, sir. The second one has to do with the tribunal at the state level. Both members of the House of Assembly, House of Reps, and Senators. I want to appeal to our governors. The way you are taking your own tribunals seriously, I will appeal to you, sir, to take all our members of the National Assembly and the House of Assembly in tribunals. Take their cases very seriously. Take over their tribunals. Because if you are practically involved in those tribunals, we will win more seats, both at the national and the state level. Thank you.
Thank you. Dino, I think we are united as a party. That is why all of us have sacrificed our time and we're all here. And the healing process has started. That is a solemn sacrifice. The leader of the Labour Party is here, so we'll want to allow him to speak to us for 2 minutes.
Your Excellencies, particularly the presidential candidate of the PDP, let me stand on the already established protocols. I bring you warm greetings from the Labour Party and to thank the PDP because of you, we are here. If the PDP did not make the mistakes it made, probably the 35 strong member elect of the Labour Party in the coming 10th Assembly would not have been. So thank you. I also want to say another thank you for bringing us to this retreat. I thought, and my members thought, that we are coming for a retreat of the minority parties, which is actually what is supposed to be. But granted, as the host, you're supposed to have your indoor session, which I'm sure you're having. But because of time, I've been called upon to make this speech in 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm going to do just that. The other minority parties I know are here. But I think that what is binding us together is the fact that we are all in the opposition. And being in the opposition does not necessarily mean dissent. It simply means keeping the governing party on its toes. And if we can't do that, even from the simplest tax, which is constitutionally assigned to us, talking about the House of Representatives, Section 51B of the Constitution says that members are to choose their own speaker and deputy speaker from among themselves. Even before that function is discharged, some people have chosen speaker and deputy speaker for us, and we are watching. There is an audio opposition. There is the visible opposition. If the PDP is ready to lead the charge of the visible opposition, we are ready to go along with them. But if they want to stay on the audio side and be an opposition party in name, then I can assure you that the Labour Party, small as we are, just 35 member elect, we will lead the charge on behalf of the Nigerian people to create a new Nigeria. Thank you so much. And by the way, Honorable Victor Afamogene, Obaru Federal Constituency, and leader of the Labour Party caucus, House of Representatives, 10th Assembly.
Thank you. PDP. The first question was from Hajia Chiroma. And her emphasis was on the 35% position reserved for women in our party, and whether or not these 35% have been fully implemented or not. And I think she directed the question to the party. She has not distinguished this question whether in appointments or in election. But I will want to answer those questions on behalf of the party chairman. Party chairman, sir.
You see, the PDP is the only party that has recognized that women should be involved in both the governance and even elected positions. If you look at our previous federal government appointments, since from Obasanjo to Jonathan, you've seen a lot of women. We've tried to make sure that, yes, that women are involved in governance. We went further to encourage them by even saying, come and contest, and we made the forms available for them, free, without having to pay for forms. And in this type of situation, you make sure that you also get involved as much as possible, because it's a world of struggle. Some men have always liked women around them, jokes apart, but you have to do more so that at least you will be taken care of very well. I think we've tried very well for women in this party. And I want to urge our governors that are here to also try to adopt that 35%. Even if you are not able to do that, at least to improve on what we have achieved so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Ningi had the privilege of running us through our performances since 1999 to 2023 on how we've been performing on some of the elective positions, particularly at the National Assembly election on percentage basis. And he rounded up by asking the question about the relationship between the National Assembly members and their governors, and what hinders this smooth relationship. And the ideal person to answer this question is the gentleman who has seen both, who was a former National Assembly member and even a presiding officer and a former governor, and now again, Senator-elect, my chairman. Governor Tambuwal.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, our leaders. Looking back and looking forward, I believe that we have different experiences, and we know that it is always better and it pays better where there is synergy between members of the National Assembly and their governors, especially in a situation whereby they are from the same political party. Working together, you get the objectives of the party implemented and the programs of the party implemented both at the national level and back home in the state. But working separately, it means that you'll be working at cross purposes. Party programs may not be actually implemented successfully, and then there will be a lot of political crisis and tensions in the party and even in government in the state. So I recommend highly that we try as much as possible to be inclusive in whatever we're doing, either as governors and members of National Assembly. We must be seen to be working together, and more so where we have a government in place at the state level, and then of course we take direction from the party to work at the national level, particularly at the caucus of the party in the National Assembly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The next question was from Honorable Lar. She talked about the much talked reconciliation and healing process that has dominated this retreat today. And what is the party doing to have a more deeper healing process? We have states, particularly her own, that at one point dominated the political scene in Plateau, went into opposition for 8 years, and they are back. And I think one of the things that must have shaped them to bounce back is proper reconciliation and healing. And so I'll direct this question to the governor of Plateau State to help us tell us what they have done in terms of reconciliation that has helped them to come back to dominate the politics of Plateau. Thank you.
Well, Your Excellency, Governor Fintiri, this is a coup for me. But thank you for the opportunity. I think reconciliation is about engagement, is about mutual respect, is about dialogue, is about sincerity of purpose. Leaders must take responsibility and walk the talk. And what we did on the plateau was that we reached out to every critical leader within the party. We tried to break barriers, which required sometimes a great deal of humility, because some of those leaders were quite difficult. But we humbled ourselves, built bridges, engaged in dialogue, and sometimes, or most of the time, we got others involved in trying to ensure that everyone came on board. Of course, we didn't have 100% success rate. Some still remained recalcitrant, but we maintained our focus. And by and large, we were able to gather the rank and file of the party behind us as we went into the elections. So there's a lot of give and take. And we must be willing, like I said, to humble ourselves, walk the talk, lay aside our egos, because a lot of the times the fight is about ego. And if we're willing to lay aside our egos, we can gain a lot of milestones in this reconciliatory process. So I urge the party to set up the machinery, identify leaders who can be able to have the level-headedness that will bring parties to the discussion table. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Wachukwa, the Minority Whip of the Senate, have advised our newly elected National Assembly members to use professionals as your aid so as to avoid watery or not having any motion at all in the next 4 years. I think with this, I want to crave your indulgence for us to break into the various caucuses of our meetings today so that more critical issues will be discussed at that level. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much. May I, on the direction of the host governor, make the following specific announcement. All the members-elect should please stay back in this hall. All the senators-elect should proceed to the Executive Council chambers for their meeting. Then all the governors will proceed to the governor's office. That is where they will do their various caucuses. Your Excellency. The agreement is that the senators will stay for 10 minutes. Please, that senators will stay for 10 minutes with the members before they disperse.
PDP.
This is Channels Television. You've been watching our live coverage of the PDP retreat for elected officials, which took place at the new banquet hall of the Government House in Bauchi State.